In a world where drill rappers like Lil Jeff often boast about their violent lifestyles, his shocking demise has proved that even the most feared can fall. Known for his ruthless persona, Lil Jeff became notorious as the latest serial killer rapper on the block. But in the final 24 hours of his life, he proved to be as vulnerable as he was fearless. Here's how it all went down. Lil Jeff's final moments. Chicago-based rapper Lil Jeff died on June 8, 2024, under very violent circumstances that left the drill rap community in shock. Interestingly, the day started as quiet with no one except for Lil Jeff and his crew, knowing of the drama that was going to unfold as the day progressed. In the wee hours of that morning, rapper Lil Vert took to his Instagram stories to post of himself and Lil Jeff with a third person as they were hanging around at a gas station. In the photo, Lil Jeff can be seen wearing a blue hoodie and gray jeans and appears to be distracted by something happening beyond the camera's scope. Lil Vert uploaded the picture alongside the caption, "In the hood, we good." Apparently, Lil Jeff and his friends had stopped to get some gas and were back on the road soon after, heading to an unknown destination. This would turn out to be one of the last times Lil Jeff would be captured on camera. A few hours later, fans found out where Lil Jeff and his boys were headed as they watched his final moments in harrowing clips that surfaced on social media. As rumors about Lil Jeff's death began circulating online later that Saturday afternoon, a video quickly went viral across various social media platforms that shows Lil Jeff getting shot multiple times before he falls to the floor. In the clip, Lil Jeff can be seen hopping out of a car and immediately firing multiple shots at an unidentified man who is wearing yellow shorts. It is not clear if the man gets hit by any of the bullets, but the video shows him running into a building as Lil Jeff continues shooting at him while in hot pursuit. Just as Lil Jeff goes into the door of the building, multiple shots can be heard ringing from inside, and within a split second, the rapper falls back down the steps and onto the floor. While on the ground, Jeff is reportedly shot numerous times with his shooter allegedly emptying a whole magazine into him. Meanwhile, another video also surfaced online that captures another angle of the incident from a different camera, which recorded the sounds of the shots being fired at Jeff, as well as showing two men and a driver reacting to Jeff being killed. The man in the video, wearing the red outfit, is later identified as Lil Jeff's cousin Q50, and he can be seen returning fire towards the direction of the building where Jeff was shot. At some point, Q50 can be seen firing multiple shots at a passing vehicle for some reason. Some have suggested that the man in the yellow shorts that Jeff was chasing was talking to the person driving the car Q50 was shooting at as it passed. Once the car had passed, Q50 then walked towards the building alongside another man wearing an all-black outfit, and they both exchanged gunfire with Lil Jeff's shooters. A few seconds later, the two can be seen hurriedly retreating into the getaway vehicle, and Q50 noticeably has a limp in his walk, signifying that he had probably taken a hit on his leg. As Q50 and the other man get into the car, the driver of their getaway steps out of the car to look before all the men realize that it is too late to save Jeff, and they proceed to flee the scene as shots continue to hit Jeff laying on the ground. According to reports, Lil Jeff received a total of 19 bullet wounds, giving him no chance of survival. By the time the police arrived at the scene, the whole place looked like a war zone with shell casings scattered all over the place. There was also blood everywhere, but Lil Jeff's body was missing from the front porch of the house. The police scanner recordings later showed that one of the neighbors had told the responding officers that Q50 had returned moments later to carry Lil Jeff to the hospital. A picture later surfaced online that confirmed what the neighbor had told the officers, as it showed Q50 and the other man in the black outfit carrying Lil Jeff's lifeless body from the porch. Lil Jeff was then transported to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. One of the first people to confirm the news of Lil Jeff's death was Kyle Maza, a national press reporter. While reporting on Lil Jeff's death, she wrote on X, "Unidentified male victim shot and killed in Chicago, Illinois on June 8, 2024. At Spot Newsonic reports that the victim killed is Chicago rapper Bloodhound Lil Jeff." The post hinted that at approximately 5:14 p.m. Saturday afternoon on the 6600 block of S. Rhodes Avenue, a male victim, aka John Doe, was near the sidewalk when he was struck in the chest by gunfire. This person was then transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Meanwhile, there were no suspects in custody, even though a large number of shell casings were located at the crime scene. At the time, the story was still developing, so many of the details that were circulating online were not accurate. It wasn't until the videos showing Lil Jeff's shooting went viral that everyone got the true picture of what had transpired. As usual, the video of Lil Jeff's shooting found its way to Reddit, and it quickly drew several reactions from fans. Some of the fans criticized Lil Jeff's homies apologies for not doing more to protect him, with one user writing, "Literally, the one who was about to bring in all y'all up with him, possibly gonna feed the whole fam, y'all let this happen to y'all star. Nigga shouldn't even been there in the first place." Another section of fans tried to make sense of the situation while empathizing with Lil Jeff's associates who helplessly had to watch him get stood over and shot to death. One particular user captured the sentiments by highlighting the mood of the driver of the getaway car. The user wrote, "Damn, the guy didn't even run back to the car or anything, just walked. Probably got a clear sight of them shooting his homie and knew it was over. The realization probably hit all three of those guys like a truck when they got back in and drove off." The scenes were, however, different from Lil Jeff's friends and others within the rap community, as tributes poured in for the slain rapper. Leading the tributes for the late rapper was his friend and fellow rapper Da Tweaker, who took to his Instagram account to post back-to-back stories featuring Lil Jeff. While sharing the pictures, he wrote, "I love you, I'ma be with you real soon." He went on to add, "Damn, brother, this don't feel real." Another artist and video creator known as AMF.Visuals on Instagram also posted a story featuring a picture of Lil Jeff alongside a heartbreak emoji. AMF Visuals produced the music video for Lil Jeff's hit single Ah, months before the rapper's fatal shooting. In the days following Lil Jeff's shooting, several other rappers and celebrities continued to send tributes in honor of Lil Jeff. However, fans got to see another side of Lil Jeff that they had hardly seen before his death, when the rapper's girlfriend shared a heartbreaking message mourning the loss of her lover. Lil Jeff's girlfriend shared the message alongside a video that captured her and the rapper choreographing a girly dance routine. The two were all smiles and seemed to be having a great time as they moved in synchronized fashion while capping off their dance routine by making a giant heart sign with their hands. In the caption, Lil Jeff's girlfriend, whose TikTok name is PMoney365, leaves a heartbreaking message that reads, "You would be so mad that I let the world know you really was a sweetheart. You did whatever for me. Literally. I never understood how y'all was so scared of him. He was my BSFF, my Clyde, my escape, my whole world." Lil Jeff mostly kept his personal life private, so fans were stunned by the fact that he was in a relationship before his death. Even more shocking was the fact that Lil Jeff, who had earned a reputation as a notorious killer, was now being seen doing TikTok dance routines and looking very much in love. Before long, internet users had found Lil Jeff's girlfriend's TikTok page, and it led to the discovery of more videos that humanized someone who had become dreaded by both young and old within the Chicago drill rap scene. In one particular video that was uploaded on Reddit days after Lil Jeff's death, the rapper can be seen enjoying a dinner date with his girlfriend. Once again, Lil Jeff is all smiles, as he even goes on to claim he is camera shy, while his boo makes funny faces at the camera. Lil Jeff's appearance in these videos is certainly a sharp contrast to the stone-faced gangster that terrorized the Chicago drill rap scene for several years, making a name for himself by claiming bodies. Lil Jeff claimed 11 bodies. Apart from his music, Lil Jeff is mostly known for gang hanging and became famous after hinting that he was responsible for a 2024 double homicide involving 2 teenage victims. Lil Jeff wholeheartedly embraced the notoriety that came after claiming those hits, and over the next couple of months, he bragged about killing his ops in his music, and at some point he even offered to give coaching classes on how to become a killer to anyone interested.
"I'm taking this to killing school. Class start next week."
However, this offer came with a condition. Any student willing to join his class must have killed at least 2 people before they could be accepted by him. So imagine the surprise on the faces of his followers when they watched the video of Lil Jeff performing TikTok dance routine with his girlfriend, and also claiming to be camera shy in the other video. This wasn't the monstrous killer they were used to seeing, and it struck fear in the hearts of many of his ops. But it would seem that Lil Jeff was a man of 2 worlds, a hopeless romantic behind closed doors and a cold-hearted killer on the streets. But Lil Jeff wasn't always a gangbanger from the start. In fact, when the rapper was in high school, he was a pretty decent basketball player and was determined to go on to college to pursue his dreams of becoming a professional basketball player. Things seemed to be going as expected for Lil Jeef, with his 2017 sophomore basketball team even winning a couple of tournaments. However, Lil Jeff's dreams began to fall apart the next year after he didn't make it to his high school's varsity team. The rapper talked about the experience during a 2024 interview on DJU TV, in which he revealed that the setback opened his eyes to the reality of life and left him confused about what to do next, according to Lil Jeff.
I was trying to play basketball, but that's around the time I ain't make the varsity team. So at 16 was when I was realizing this shit real. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
with his previously desired career path falling off track. It seems this was about the time Jeff's life began to take a new direction, although Jeff would still end up graduating high school and even had a fancy graduation party thrown for him by his mom to celebrate the occasion. The rapper had no plans to go to college. After his graduation, Lil Jeff began showing up in the streets, and before long, he was on his way to follow in the footsteps of his older brother. In his interview with DJU, Lil Jeff also talked about how it was easy for him to embrace street life because it was something he was always surrounded by. According to Lil Jeff, he officially jumped off the porch when he was 18, and he got introduced to street life by his older brother, who was already deep into gang culture. Although Lil Jeff steadily began to grow his reputation within the Bloodhounds, he remained relatively unknown. However, things took a drastic turn on March 16, 2023, when 22-year-old Zaire Nelson, aka Z Money, was killed. Nelson was Lil Jeff's cousin and had a close friendship with other members of the Bloodhounds. While many believe that Nelson's death was what really turned Lil Jeff into a killer, it is quite difficult to imagine that Lil Jeff would have racked up a double-digit body count within a year alone. Realistically, if he were to achieve that number of bodies, it would mean that he had already been in the killing business before 2023. While there are several murders that happened before 2023 that have been linked to Lil Jeff, most of the details in those cases are a bit sketchy, and in some cases, some other people have been convicted for the murder already. One such case was the March 2022 killing of an alleged Evans mob member named Black, real name Roger Lewis. He was shot dead in a drive-by bus shooting, and the murder was linked to Lil Jeff. However, the following month, his killer was charged with the murder, and he is already serving the sentence. Another murder that has been linked to Lil Jeff that remains under a lot of doubt was the 2014 killing of 18-year-old Mally Mall, whose real name was Kamal Burton. While the murder took place in the far south side in the Altgeld Gardens community, Lil Jeff would have been 12 years old at the time, making it highly unlikely that he would have been able to pull off such a successful hit. Also, according to the Chicago Police Department spokesperson at the time, Mal was approached by two men who then opened fire on him. It is important to note that Lil Jeff himself never claimed any of these murders mentioned and was only linked to them by fans. One of the first murders that saw Lil Jeff self-snitching was the infamous 2023 Uber shooting that claimed the life of 19-year-old rideshare passenger Jaleel Goins. Goins, who was popularly known as Leal within Trap City circles, was brutally shot while sitting in a rideshare. Shortly after the incident, Lil Jeff and Q50 began taunting their ops and seemingly took responsibility for the hit on Leal in their songs and Instagram live videos. The duo really milked the incident, and this later became a recurring theme in the future as they bragged about every hit they participated in from that moment. While all these murders made the news at different times, the incident that eventually shot Lil Jeff into public reckoning was the January 2024 double homicide of two teenagers, 17-year-old Monterio Williams aka Monty and 16-year-old Robert Boston aka Lil Rob. The teenagers were among a group of students walking out of Innovations High School for their lunch break when multiple masked men jumped out of two cars in front of the school and fired multiple shots on the group, killing Monty and Lil Rob. Just 15 minutes after the shooting, Lil Jeff and his accomplices uploaded a video on Instagram where they can be seen still wearing the masks and outfits from the shooting and riding inside the same car while dancing to music that included lyrics about shooting at opposition. According to law enforcement, an anonymous tip pointed them to the video, which opened up the investigation that eventually led to the arrest of two men, Bloodhound J-Mo and T-Slick, involved in the shooting earlier this year. But while all the investigations were ongoing, Lil Jeff and his cousin Q50 continued to hint in their songs that they were responsible for the shooting. It was later discovered that the shooting was in retaliation for a previous incident that saw Lil Jeff getting robbed by Monty and Lil Rob. The teenagers were able to cart away two wristwatches during the heist and went on to mock Lil Jeff over the incident. Seeing this as the ultimate disrespect, Lil Jeff confirmed his status as a cold-blooded killer by ending the lives of the teenagers in the most brutal way and then proceeding to mock their deaths. But days after Lil Rob and Monty were killed, a retaliatory attack on January 31st, 2024 saw an acquaintance of Lil Jeff called Lil Squirrel get killed. While addressing Lil Squirrel's death, Lil Jeff took to Instagram to say in a since-deleted post that his ops would kill anybody when they emotional. He also said, "Stay safe, all my innocent people." Following this episode, Lil Jeff's fame soured, and his music also felt the effect of his newfound popularity, with his Ah song amassing over 250,000 views. Unfortunately, Lil Jeff's big mouth and constant bragging about killing his ops continued to put him in the crosshairs of his rivals, and it was only a matter of time before the rivalry got the better of him. The gang rivalry that ended Lil Jeff's life. Like many of these budding drill rappers, once Lil Jeff tested fame and some notoriety among his gang members and against rival gangs, the trajectory of his life changed. Lil Jeff, who graduated high school in 2020 and began a career in streaming and uploading YouTube content, didn't think twice when it came to flexing muscles and giving off the feeling that he belonged to the hood's most dangerous rival gangs. Expectedly, the street gang culture in Chicago has always been open to young drill rappers losing their lives over meaningless discards. In recent times, some of the most viral gang violence incidents have been linked to the two well-known rival Chicago gangs, Trap City, Drill City, BKN, and Bloodhounds. Trap City is from the south, BKN from the west side, while DRI City is a hybrid gang based in the east side from 79th Street to Maryland Avenue. At first, the relationship between these gangs, including the Bloodhounds, seemed civil, with some members claiming affiliation to more than one group. Back in September 2024, an old picture circulated on Reddit showing Trap City Tero and Bloodhound Lil Jeff and Q50 before the beef. It's not certain the timing of the photo, but the group seemed to be having a chilled moment, and everything looked chilled. This was also the case when Trap City Rob was photographed with Bloodhound Vert, but soon, things started to turn sour between Drill City and Trap City, and expectedly, Bloodhounds chose the side they had since stuck to, Drill City. When Lil Jeff began rapping in 2022, he established himself as a bloody Bloodhound member, maintaining in many of his lyrics that he was more a killer than a rapper. Fans got their first real glimpse of that dark side after the 2023 tragedy, when his cousin Z Money was shot 29 times while sitting in his car at Avalon parking lot. While the police did not get to the root of the killing, the streets buzzed with theories, and many began to believe that Z Money was killed by those closest to him, possibly a member of Trap City. Some allegations were that Z Money was killed over a girl and a stolen gun. However, the following year, there was a break for online detectives. Following an interview with members of Trap City, it came to light that Trap City and the Bloodhounds now had a severed relationship over a stolen chain. According to Trap City Rob,
stole the chain, bro. We tried like he took it. He stole my own chain.
Without wasting time, Lil Jeff established through his raps that it was game on, but it was all lyrics bans at the time, as the Bloodhound member did not really target any Trap City member. But this restriction to pulling the trigger only reaffirmed Trap City's confidence, and soon enough, Lil Jeff's cousin Q50, who belonged to Bloodhound, was allegedly shot by Trap City. However, he was fortunate enough to survive the attack. This was the jet fuel Lil Jeff needed to plummet him into senseless violence that went downhill from then on. It started with the infamous Uber shooting, which involved the tragic demise of a 19-year-old rideshare passenger, Jelial Goins, aka Trap City Leal. Following the attack, the driver drove Goins to Rush University Medical Center, where he was declared dead. Like Z Money's murder, this was shoved into the unsolved case files as the authorities struggled to make sense of the crime and who had shot the victim in particular. However, the streets were fully aware of who might have authorized the attacks. As seen in the rival worlds of drill artists, Lil Jeff and Q50 did not hold their tongues. Instead, they taunted their ops, seemingly taking responsibility for the hit on Leal in the songs and Instagram live videos. Through their antics, the duo showed unmatched courage at self-snitching. On top of that, they further taunted their ops that there was still more to come. Towards the end of 2023, Lil Jeff and Q50 allegedly struck again, killing another Trap City member known as Glenn. The deceased suffered 15 bullet wounds and never stood a chance. Amid the terror these killings might have caused, Lil Jeff turned towards his other enemy, the BKN gang, but this time he orchestrated the murder of two teenage boys, Lil Rob and Monty, who were at school. While families mourned, Lil Jeff and Q50 took on their trolling badges, suggesting that they were the ones behind the hit. It was later revealed Lil Rob and Monty allegedly stole 2 wristwatches from Lil Jeff and that their action had stirred the consequences. But in the end, Lil Jeff didn't get to play God. Like many who had died before him, karma caught up with him. Once his death was confirmed, the tables turned as Trap City members, including his alleged killer, could be seen in a viral video taking to the streets to celebrate Lil Jeff's death. After walking a short distance, the group arrives at the front porch of the house where Lil Jeff was actually murdered, and Trap City goes ahead to recreate how the rapper was killed, much to the amusement of the other gang members. With all of this going on, Trap City Rob, the alleged shooter, seemed calm and refused to join the bandwagon of trolls. Since the murder, Rob has refrained from speaking about the topic while trying to distance himself from the chaos. During a heart-to-heart discussion with DJ UTV, the interviewer inquired about being in the spotlight following the famous shooting which surfaced online. However, Rob declared,
I just feel like they bogus, man. Whoever started that, man, please stop doing stuff like that. Like, for real, it's like real life, though, you know? So, it's not no video game. It's not no movie, you know what I'm saying? It's reality, so.
Yeah.
Unlike other drill artists, Rob decided to also defuse the situation, and it may be due to his fear for future retaliatory attacks. Another reason might be due to his understanding of the law, where self-snitching through lyrics or interviews can make him a person of interest. Although Rob was arrested on October 31st, the police released him on November 1st due to a lack of evidence tying him to the crime. However, the Reddit community has speculated that Rob is sinless, and all he wanted to do was to defend himself. This would tick the box, especially since Rob wasn't the assailant. Rather, he was the one who was trying to hide in between buildings in an attempt to escape from Lil Jeff. Speaking of self-defense, Lil Jeff himself had touted how he'd act when confronted with such a situation where another man is coming onto him. The rapper chimed, "Hell no, no, you had to protect yourself. You were scared for your life, so if you didn't shoot that gun, your ass is gonna die." While Lil Jeff and Q50 gave the nod to this perception, it appears that there has been a U-turn considering the fact that Lil Jeff was the affected one. Unsurprisingly, members of the Bloodhounds, including Q50, have expressed that their ops and Lil Jeff's killer will pay for their crimes.